Hello, welcome back to class. Today is an exciting project that we're going to do. We're going to make an actual lunch bag. These are also really good for gift giving, whether it's just for the bag or you can put your hair scrunchies and your infinity scarf. If you'd like, after you make one, if you'd like to add some Velcro, you can do that for a Velcro closure. There's some that you can sew on, some that just kind of sticks on. That's up to you. Or a good heavy duty snap. You can do that too, maybe add a couple snaps, but this is just to start learning how to sew. So what we're going to do is you're going to take your fabrics and you're going to want to have the wrong sides together. And remember, the wrong sides are kind of like the ugly sides. So you're going to have your two layers with the wrong sides touching each other. Okay. And then you're going to take your other side and do that. And then you just layer them. So you have 4 layers. You have all right sides. You open it up, you should be able to see the right sides. For me, what I did is I used these are little pumpkins. So I had to make sure that when I opened it, that they were facing the correct way. So that's something, double check if you have something like that, to where you don't want the items upside down. So always do that when you're sewing, because there's times the way the pattern is, it can need double checking. So you're going to go ahead and stitch down. And then also what you're going to do is you're going to take the next layer. So I want this as my top layer. So I'm going to take my bottom layer, kind of lay it down, take my next color or my next one, and just go ahead and put it on. And you should be using pins. Pins do make it easier and more precise. Just be careful when you're sewing that you don't stitch through the needles. They can break. They can break your sewing machine needle. They can cause damage. They can also kind of hurt you. So just be careful when you're sewing. And then you just line it up, right sides together, the wrong sides on the inside. And then you just go ahead and stitch down. You can use your presser foot for the seam allowance, and always back stitch. So you're going to start sewing and then just press your reverse button. Yours could be in a different spot than where mine is, but definitely back stitch and proceed. There you go. So now that you have that, you're going to do the same thing. You're just going to repeat it. And I'm just going to trim this up a little bit. The more precise you are with your cutting, when you're cutting out your fabrics, the more precise and professional your item will look. So I'm just going to do the same thing. I got my top and middle layers, and I'm going to back stitch. You go forward, then back, and then you just proceed on. So you should have that whole seam pinned. And then I'm going to add my bottom layer. I just need to make sure that for me, that my pumpkins are on top. I'm double checking to make sure they're not upside down. And like I said, right sides up, wrong sides should be on the inside. And you just layer to where when you open it up, you can double check. You can open it to make sure that it lays out the correct way. And then just go ahead and start sewing it. Be sure to back stitch. Oops, it moved. That's why it's good to pin. And then just proceed down. All right, just a few more steps and we will have this all completed. This is going nice. So now what you're going to do is you're going to open all of it up. Okay, and you're going to put your top sides together on the outside, line these seams up so it has a more professional look, and then just pin all the way down. And then once you have it pinned, you can begin sewing. Start at the top, just work yourself down. You'll be using your presser foot as your guide. And clip your threads as you go. I have a bad habit of not doing that, but it's really nice if you clip as you go along. Once you're done, you're done. You don't have to worry about clipping everything. And just do the same on the other side. Line it up. Make sure your seams are together, lined up pretty. Remember to back stitch. And then just sew it all the way down. And then we're going to take the bottom. We have our bottom and just kind of close it. Make sure that when you're doing it, that the edges that you're going to catch and there's not going to be some that's missed. So make sure as you go that you don't miss a layer of fabric. So you just get it ready and back stitch, forward and back. There we go. We just have basically 2 more steps and we're done. So this part's a little tricky on what we're going to do next. So what you're going to do is you're going to need a 3" by 3". So measure 3 inches and 3 inches and then just cut across. So you need 2 little triangles. So cut 2 of these, 3 inches and then 3 inches and just cut across. And this is going to help us with our corner. So the next thing is kind of a little bit difficult. It's kind of awkward. So what you're going to do is you're just going to kind of pull the bag apart. Look at your middle seam. Just kind of pull it apart a little bit. And then wiggle this part. You're going to wiggle your corner to where it's kind of like this. The bottom and the top are kind of lined up. That seam, if you can get that seam to make a triangle. And then what you're going to do is you're going to place this triangle in that area. So you have those seams touching each other, and then you're going to have this to create a triangle. So have those seams lined up. It's kind of got to fiddle with it a little bit. But once you get those seams lined up, go ahead and pin it. Or if you would prefer, you can, it is a little awkward to do. This one, you do have to fiddle with it. So get that lined up. And the more you work it into like a really good corner, the better your bag's going to turn out. And then you're just going to sew a little triangle piece. And it should be that width of that 3 by 3. And then just clip your threads. Do the same on the other side. You can kind of open it. Just kind of wiggle those seams down. So you get that little triangle. Put your little triangle right there. And then just sew on the bottom part, the straight edge part. So once you get those seams lined up, and just work with it and then pin it. The pinning does make it easier for this kind of stuff. All right, then we got that. You're going to turn your bag inside, right side out. So go ahead and just flip it around. Kind of poke those corners out. So you got your little nice edges. Kind of helps the bag stand up a little bit better. Just kind of work it out. There you go. Then for the top part, this is our last final step. You're going to take it and just fold it under. So you have a nice seam and just kind of fold it around. Mine's not as precise since I didn't pin it, but go ahead and fold it so it looks nice and even. And then you're going to just start at one of the seams. It's always good to start at a seam. And then you just use that presser foot again. So that's approximately, about a ½ inch, about a ½ inch hem. And then just use your presser foot for your guide. Then just go all the way around. And there is your bag. So do me a favor. I would love to see your projects. Let me know if you're going to keep it for yourself or maybe give it away. If you're going to use it for a lunch bag or maybe a gift, but there you go. And you can make as many of these as you'd like. So I also told you that I would show you a couple things. I'm going to see what's in my little sewing kit. So this right here, these are always good when your scissors start to go dull. These are really good to sharpen your scissors. I have some very expensive scissors from my mom. I like these. These are like $2.99, and I have probably 40 of these. The sharper your scissors are, the better. And certain fabrics like sequin fabrics can kind of damage your scissors. You can get these professionally sharpened, whatever scissors, but it costs, I don't know, $3. It's been a long time. So instead of paying to have my expensive scissors, and I like these better. They're lighter. That's just me. That's just me. But what do I have in here? I don't even know. We did our little seam ripper. I keep my needles together. There's different kinds of needles that you can use for upholstery if you're trying to sew in like a couch. I had to repair my couch, so I bought these, and they can kind of hook around, so it's easier because you can't really go from up and under. And there's different sizes for different things that you might need. If you have like a thick rope, you would just want to get through something, not a thick rope, but a thicker type of ribbon, something like that. You can use different size needles, and they come in a nice little kit. And I'll be going through some other things. And these are what your bobbins are. They have bobbin casings to organize things. Has a nice little pin cushion up here just to keep some pins. And it's always good to have a little sewing kit. This isn't my main one, so next time I will go through that and show you some more things. Inside here though, your little compartment, it's always good to have a brush, and you brush any dust away inside that bobbin case. And it's good to do that depending on how often you sew, but if there's any buildup of lint, it can cause your machine to jam. And there's also a nice little seam ripper. This right here is for my spool of thread. I use something a little bit different. I use kind of like a stand. And this is serger thread. I've been able to use serger thread. I was spending so much money on spools of thread. And since I sew so much, I have saved a lot of money using these. And serging is a different type of stitches. Let's see if I'm wearing this. Yeah, if you like this, I don't know if you can see it, but if you look at your hem on a professional outfit, that's what a serged edge will look like. So post your project, and I look forward to our next project. See you soon. Have a good day.